Commander Calder, if you can, and give us your log, please.
Captain's log, Stardate 55347.3. After covering Fleet Captain Grennan and Captain 10, then we were issued one week well and rest. Until we begin our next mission. And log.
Okay. Nope, not you. And which one is it? Lawn harvest? I'm mislabeling all my music here. There we go. As mentioned, and after successfully recovering the captain and the fleet captain in Grennan from what appears to be their timeline, they have been recovered and are currently docked at DSE, where everyone has been given 1 week's shore leave. Medical provisions for the captain and fleet captain have been transferred over to Dr. Efris and local controls, and we've been slowly grinding away at the 2,000 or so people you have arrested previously in the Haldone system with association with the late Pirate Queen. And at this point, you guys have a week off. So what will you be doing?
This is a star base, right? We don't have a planet side that I can go to?
There is a planet side, but it is kind of, it's not friendly. It's L class.
Okay. That means
there's
loser
a holodeck
class, right? Loser class.
It means you could live there without a respirator, but it's not going to be comfortable.
I gotcha. Well, Dr. Bog would attempt to log some time in the holodeck, just basically camping setting, just kind of outdoorsy, relaxing thing. And basically from everything.
Yep. You could be allowed sometime on a holodeck. Probably not for the full week, but at least it's a good 48 hours on a holodeck by yourself.
Okay, and then beyond that, I'd be working in my office to go through personnel records and make sure I've got all the physicals up to date. If there's anybody that I'm lagging behind on, I'd make sure I get a physical.
There's probably a few low-ranking personnel that you need to catch up on a physical. they're not as responsive to your hails as normal, but you kind of just put them in a queue for when and shore leave is over and they actually come back to the ship.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that. And
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt their relaxation time. It's going to be when they're pulling a shift or something. I'll switch around on stuff.
Possibly. What do you want to do to mess with the holo program, L? Give me a presence con difficulty A2. See if you can and talk this as bartender into doing such things.
Just so you know, my program would not have anybody in it. Just me on a campsite. So if he's adding anything, I'm going to immediately notice it.
Speaking of which campsite would you be at? Anywhere particular on Earth or another planet? Any particular national park?
No, it would probably be from the colony where I lost my wife and daughter.
Okay.
Not rolling. Clicked it 3 times now.
So either it's going to catch up and we're going to get a bunch of rolls, or... There it goes.
Just as I decide to refresh roll 20.
Unfortunately, the bartenders are like, no, I don't like messing with people's programs. So that's kind of rude. And besides, the gentleman said that he wanted a program without any characters in it.
A lot of bad rolls now that I see it.
Yeah, might as well get it out of the way now. Besides, it's fly around on the promenade. What else would you be doing, El?
A week of shore leave? Cramped up on the ship. He'd probably be trying to find out where is the nearest class sim world that he could do some real flying on.
Yeah, Shosku 1's not really inviting. There's some Class M worlds over in the Tallgrass area, but those are kind of in a delicate diplomatic situation, as those worlds would be like the Woohoo Illuminated Capital World, the Chigo Capital World. You know, they're Class M, they're nearby.
How about a Class M moon?
Actually, I think the Chigo's homeworld is a moon of a large planet, but yeah, there's nothing really nearby, especially within a week's shuttle flight, right, to go out and fly. But again, there's a holodeck.
Sneak onto the Dr. Boggs program, maybe?
Nope, it's locked. Especially since you already talked to the hollow attender or about changing parameters on the program. He's kind of put a lock on that door.
I don't know. Might just talk to people on the promenade, try to make some friends.
Oh, that could be arranged. In fact, there is one night at one of the bars where a grizzled old civilian and pilot comes in, and he is telling a tall tale. And he kind of has some people all gathered around him listening. Some people are truly intrigued. Some people are more entertained the more drunk he gets. And so they're fueling his story with ale.
It's a bard in space.
It's a bard in space. Do you listen to the details, or do you are?
Of course. I mean, just like science, it gets really juicy with the more details.
All right. Insight Command difficulty 1.
Insight and Command difficult 1.
You got it. As this man is telling this tall tale about how he was flying past the Beta Triangula system, and he was doing a close pass around the second planet, a J-class ass planet at warp 6, and the ship began to shudder, and subspace got rippled, so we slowed down. And then the ripples caught up to him again, so we slowed down to warp 4, and he just grand old tale about how this ripple in subspace was following him, and so he overcharged the engines and tried to go warp 7, and the ripple crashed right on top of him, and out of subspace, a huge black tentacle 3 times the size of his ship rose out of the ether and smacked him across the bow. And then
tentacle?
Yep, and then the rest of the body, black as the black of space, evil, dark, glinting eyes the size of his deflector dish, as peered into the view screen. And as it lifted his ship up and over its gigantic electric maw.
Oh my god, how did you survive?
I polarized my hull plating, and it appeared to create enough of a static shock that it drove the beast back to the black where it came from.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I had my wits about me, at least enough to remember how to polarize hull plating. But
what's your name?
Phineas. Captain Phineas.
Nice to meet you. I'm Lieutenant L.
It's the strangest sight I ever saw. It seemed to appear out of nowhere, and it was covered with Tetrion radiation.
I don't suppose I could take a look at the sensor data from this, could I?
I suppose. But my ship was beat up pretty hard. I'm not sure how much data you can get from this.
I'm pretty good with sensors. I'm sure I could figure something out.
Very well. What ship you on? Boy, I could forward it to you.
I'm on the Svalinn.
All right. Prepare for a transmission from the Kitty Hawk.
Kitty Hawk.
This is what I get for making this up on the spot. Yeah, Beta Provonus system.
We had a nickname for the aircraft carrier Kitty Hawk, the Shitty Kitty.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was an old ship.
I'm gonna say that wasn't that from World War II, or
Not
like
quite that old, but
definitely
yeah,
definitely Korean.
Yeah, probably the current war of Vietnam, but the Kitty Hawk got decommissioned.
Yep. Well, it got renamed as a civilian vessel, which there's probably also a Starfleet vessel named after it as well. Anyways, later that day, probably like 8 to 10 hours later, you do get that data download to your core. Would you wish to look over it?
Absolutely. Space aliens, yeah. Might want to know about this.
Maldon, what would you be doing during this week?
Above game, a part of me can I imagine Al gives Maldon the rundown of what happened while he was gone. Like how we met a fifth dimensional being.
Yeah, that was fun. Maldon?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I'd be doing. One of the main things I'd be doing is I'd try to get either like a meal or a drink with all of the officers here, and also Knight, even though he's not here. Just have a pleasant dinner or a drink or something. You know, just talk with them a little bit.
Okay. Everyone's still on the station. That could definitely be arranged.
And that doesn't necessarily need to be all at once. You know, I'm like, if Bog's not available, you know, I'd go out of my way to go and have a dinner with him. You know.
Okay. Do you want to go like dress uniform, 5-course meal, or just like sit down on Olive Garden and talk? Like, how formal do you want this event to be?
I would actually talk to them first and see what they'd prefer.
Okay.
And then I'm fine with either one, to be honest, myself. But because even though we've had a chance to, you know, work together for a little while, there's still some, you know, I still don't really know people, and I find that I perform a little bit better if I know people a little bit better. Whether that's because, you know, now I've got some emotional motivation a little bit more than just my duty as an officer, or that maybe I learned something about them that helps me communicate better, you know?
I like it.
Plus, it's good to make new friends.
It is good to make new friends.
Obviously, I don't need to be friends in order to work with you, but it's nice if we are.
Go ahead and give me a presence con roll difficulty 2. You can just kind of talk to everyone and organize these these dinners and try to see how many of them you can get at once. And would you have any focuses that could apply?
Not for setting them up, no.
Okay.
So, con... Or control, sorry. Control what?
It was actually a presence con.
Ooh, presence con.
Yep.
My bad.
I could be talked into control if you're using like an automatic computer system just to sort through everyone's schedule, or.
Oh well, if that information is available, I wouldn't imagine that would be.
That wouldn't be totally available, although. So
yeah,
probably easier just to talk to everyone. So that's why I was.
And it's a little bit more
and it's more personal. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Presence
Any
con.
difficulty?
Difficulty 2. Just because, you're trying to talk to all of the senior staff on it.
There we go.
I'll take the first roll.
I only meant the first one. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm on my phone right now, so.
Oh, fun.
It's kind of cool that I can roll everything. So that's dope.
That does work. You can, you manage to get a hold of everyone. Knight and Maddox are kind of busy with other duties at the moment, but they said that they will get to you, possibly not this week, but some other time when they have downtime.
Cool.
I'm Commander Calder.
Yes. Also, looks I got a message from Athaton.
Oh.
Above game, look at the South Space Command. Who can?
Okay. Yeah, he just let me know. No.
Also, there is a second thing I'd like to do, but I'm fully prepared to just set that to the side and come back to that later.
Yeah, we'll just set that to the side. Captian Federation citizens from several years ago. Okay. Yeah, I can enroll with that. Subspace command frequency later. But for now, we have.
Yeah, I probably would have asked the station's intelligence officer if they know something that might help.
Yep. So I will figure out if there is something in a little bit. But in the meantime, Maldone and Calder, you have a nice dinner together. What setting would this dinner be? What would Calder and Maldone agree to? Because you are in a space station, there's all sorts of different bars, some bars and eateries. There's human food, Klingon, on Trill, Bajoran, are in eateries. And if all else fails, there's always the holodeck.
First order of business. Are we just gonna have a friendly drink, or are we gonna have a meal?
I feel drink, because I'm not really all.
Fair enough.
For the night.
Then drink it is. You feeling adventurous, or just gonna relax? If you said you're done for the night, then it's probably best to just relax a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's just
I'm
go to
I'm exhausted, but
just like whatever decent bar is on the station.
Yeah.
Yep, you can find a decent bar with a nice quiet All right, corner, where the two of you can talk.
Cool.
So in the middle of like the third day of the shore leave, Maldon and Calder can be found together at a lounge overlooking in the space dock and seeing in the Maxwell Planck being repaired briefly.
I'm just trying to think of what I want to say.
I think first things I want to know is your reaction on the stuff we did in the crossover. Pretty much what happened with the Kismet, and we met a being from the fourth or fifth dimension.
It was unknown, but he's definitely one of those higher dimensional beings that has powers alongside those of Q.
Yeah, pretty much enough to be like, do you want me to call Q? I could call Q if you want.
Yeah, I have Q on speed dial. You want me to fix your timeline? I could, you know.
But then we'd have, if we did the Q idea, then we would have had to do some dumb convoluted thing to prove that humanity is worth being saved.
Humanity and Tellarites.
Be honest, all that kind of stuff it confuses me.
Yeah, I don't agree with. Yeah, time traveling. Yeah, the thing about time travel is not that good of an idea, because a lot of things are made of paradoxes. I think someone high ranking in the Gromlin Empire was made from paradox. I don't know if that actually meta knowledge.
You know, it does kind of, the whole thing does kind of get me thinking, you know. Well, just as a little side note, I was raised among humans, you know. And so while I know Benzite history, I don't know, it's weird. I just feel a deeper connection to humans because I was around a lot more of them. You know, that was more of my upbringing. So lots of the comparisons that I draw are between like human history and whatnot. You think maybe this is kind of what humans felt like when they were first reaching out into the stars? You know, where it's just like something that is just so far beyond them. You know, a whole nother dimensional being. Like, that would have been really hard to comprehend. Actually, honestly, it's a little bit worse. A little bit more complicated. What do you think?
I mean, during the early ages of humanity, leaving there, Earth, they also didn't do that much because they also had the equivalent of a Charlie leash around them, from the Vulcans.
Right. True.
But it's better, I think, after I think 220-ish, 220-ish.
Hmm.
Ish, they they no longer had the Legion, because they also had to rebuild their government because of Archer. Showing the Duran stuff.
Crazy.
Yep, crazy.
So, Captain, why'd you join up with Starfleet? If you don't mind me asking. If I'm digging too deep, just let me know. I'm not trying to pry.
Seems to be the more exciting job path to do that isn't just a researcher or a pencil pusher.
Fair enough.
You?
I mean, very similar. I really like flying, to be honest. I suppose I could have done that in any number of things. You know, if I really wanted to just fly all the time, I could just do freight. But I don't know.
I mean, you do have an opportunity. A few have because we do have literally one of the first waves of those Delta flyers.
I know. I know. Every time that you were like, "All right, Maldon, get on the Delta flyer," I'm like, "Yes!" I get very excited.
Must love those. The little controls and not a touchpad.
Oh, no kidding. It's just, I know that there's not really too much of a difference in the way that you can actually, get the ship to go where you want it to go. But it just feels so much more responsive.
I mean, the Mach 2 the controls are a lot better than the Mark 1, which is just...
Don't get me started. But I'd fly a paper plate if it had flight controls, so, and if it's all I had. So that's probably unless you have any other questions, that's probably about what the conversation would be like as we had our drink.
Yeah,
just pleasantries, getting to know each other.
That makes sense.
Very well. If that, probably the next day you can get a hold of Lieutenant L.
All right, El, what are we doing? Drink? Dinner?
You're inviting me, so it's entirely up to you.
Oh, no preference at all then. All right. I don't know. I find drinks to be a little bit better for conversation than dinner. So.
Sounds good to me. You okay with some Aurelian ale?
Oh, if you're okay with being adventurous, then I'm totally throwing caution to the wind on that one. Let's go for it. That way we can have a little bit of fun.
We could get a couple of dice rolls out of this.
Fine with me. DM, what are you looking for?
If we're pulling out the real alcohol, fitness medicine difficulty 1.
Fitness medicine.
And do you have any
Oh, this
focuses
is
that
gonna-
could apply?
Composure.
That would actually fit.
Athletics.
Increased complication.
Actually, I would argue I have the focus because it's Aurelian ale.
I will
Just with
allow
a
that.
simple
Yeah.
fact.
Yep. It's a Svalinn area. It's built for your anatomy, so you automatically have a focus. It's not showing up on my end. I heard it on your end, but I'm not hearing it on my end.
2 1s.
Do we have a any complication or anything? Just a straight roll?
Just a straight roll.
Okay. Wow, I made it with 2 of my worst stats.
That makes
Unless we're
2 of
going-
us.
Oh, this is gonna get real fun real quick.
We're only off by 1.
Nope. All right. So both of you got a respectable buzz. Is going. You're loose. You're relaxed. You're off duty. You're out of uniform. So just very casual, friendly conversation, and may come forth.
So, L. Firstly, thank you for recommending this. It's pretty delicious, and it seems to be working a little bit.
Good. I'm glad you enjoy it. We definitely needed the relaxation after all these wild and crazy adventures.
Yeah, no kidding. My nerves can only hold together for so long before, you just gotta let loose just a little bit, Just a little bit.
You know, I wouldn't mind if you taught me how to fly one of them shuttles one of these days.
That sounds like good fun. I'm a pretty good teacher, I think, sometimes. Probably.
You're a hell of a pilot, too.
Oh. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate it greatly. Well, you, my good friend, are a hell of a scientist.
You're being too kind.
No. That whole thing, you remember when we had those bombs on the ship? The explodey crystals? You remember that?
Yeah?
I was really stressing about how we were going to deal with that. And then you had that deflector dish idea? Brilliant. Friggin' brilliant.
Well, sometimes weapons don't get you out of every situation.
True. Especially when there's bombs on the ship. So, what made you decide to want to join Starfleet?
Well, a cousin of mine joined Starfleet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's he do?
He's an engineer thing. It's been years since we've talked.
Oh. Were you hoping to reconnect with him?
As Aurelians, don't put that burden on families so much, but I wouldn't mind.
I don't have any further questions to probably continue like that. I would not be trying to get smashed. This is a respectable amount of alcohol in my system. I'm gonna stick with it.
If you want another drink, though.
Okay, so he could be persuaded if you were more like, come on. If you did that,
Are we applying peer pressure?
would
Are
probably
we
get-
applying peer pressure to the poor ensign?
Wait, who's the ensign here?
Oh, wait, you're both the same rank.
yep.
Yeah, so there's definitely going to be a little peer pressure. No doubt about it.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'd probably cave if there were peer pressure, especially since I'm already a little bit
It's probably going to get to the point where we have to roll challenge dice to see who's passing out.
Alright. Woo! Got foods and shit.
You two can roll oppose presence command.
Ooh. Presence command.
Present command. This is to
I
talk
mean,
him
if
into
you-
more?
Yeah, if you want to talk him into more and apply peer pressure.
Alright.
Apply
or
the
ta-
peer pressure.
Sure, just talk the poor man into drinking more.
Oh, heck.
It's not even made for his anatomy.
Correct. Correct.
Come on, have another drink, buddy.
What?
You like it, don't you?
What? I do.
Go ahead.
All right. I'll tell you what. I'll match you drink for drink. How about that?
That sounds good to me. But I got probably a good 10 years up on you on drinking Aurelian ale.
Well, maybe I just like a challenge. Let's go, and I'll point at the glasses in front of us.
All right, let's go.
And it is at this point, right as you're reaching for a glass, is when suddenly a small, trill woman comes leaping over the counter and crashes on your table. She appears to be chased by a large Noskin man, and who is just barreling his way on the other side of the bar. Glasses go scattering everywhere.
You're going to replace these drinks, aren't you?
Yes, please, just help me. Help me really quick, please. As the Noskin and rolls up, she cheated me.
And
She
Elle
owes me-
will be like,
She owes me
What-
3
how
bars
did
of
she
Latinum.
Well, right now she's the only one offering to replace our drinks.
I don't care about your
So-
drinks. I care about my fusion reactor.
Well, we care about our drinks. How are we supposed to have a civil conversation if you can't admit that we have to negotiate You can't enter a negotiation by saying, "I don't care what you care about." That just don't work.
L will nod in agreement.
Cool.
Creeping in the dark.
Yeah, well, it's quiet.
Cool. Oh, the guy is going to bodily grab the woman and lift her foot off the ground.
Whoa.
Take your hand off the lady.
Yeah, any reaching, any attempting to commit physical violence before the reaching happens.
Okay.
Maldon will be stepping in the way.
Yeah, both.
No, sir, that's enough.
You're just gonna step in the way and speak to him?
Yeah.
Okay. Presence, security, or command difficulty 2.
This is gonna be great. Presence command difficulty 2. Let's go. Zeros. Wah wah wah.
That was straight up Price is Right, man.
Else. Oh, that would be daring security. Difficulty 2. To interpose yourself.
Daring security difficulty 2. Athletics.
Yeah, I'll allow it. Nope. He has his hands not around her throat, thankfully, but around the scruff of her shirt. And she looks absolutely terrified. Just white as a sheet.
Okay.
How about you take your hands off the lady and let's have a drink?
At that, he's gonna backhand you.
Ooh.
That's a hit.
That's not opposed?
Oh yeah, it is melee strike, so it would be opposed.
Okay.
Not sure, but okay, whatever.
Just so you know, Dr. Bog does not have a focus in dentistry, so
Fair enough.
just be advised.
You should know, right before we got started, I was telling Arthur that I'm having real life dental issues, so.
Fun.
Makes my teeth hurt.
Okay. Buzz roll.
Do you wish to purchase additional dice?
Yes. Give you 1 threat and no. Spend one momentum and give you 2 threat. So 2 extra dice.
Okay. Ooh, as you manage to duck his roll, go ahead and roll me an unarmed strike.
Alright. Is there enough room in this room for L to get up in the air?
For 2 momentum, or 2 threat, I could allow you.
Yeah, 1 of each.
Okay. As this is the spacious lounge overlooking the dry docks, and the ceiling is lofted like 3 stories high.
I don't think my unarmed strike is gonna work right. What's the right amount of dice for it?
It's 1 plus security.
1 plus security. Right.
And that's 5 damage.
And you knock him down.
Whew.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a knockdown. And that's an injury. No me gusta. Spending 2 to stay up.
I said take your hands off the lady.
Yeah. How did you manage that reversal? Just explain your blow.
The wing gets in the way and just smacks him right back.
You
You should
block
be
with the wing, duck
rolling
underneath anything, and punch him in the
And get him with,
rib.
yeah.
Yeah. As very expertly using all 6 limbs of your anatomy, you block his blow. Oh, and he goes staggering backwards.
I will.
He's still holding on to the lady, and she takes half damage as both of them go tumbling to the ground over a table. At this point, bar patrons are like standing up and, you know, moving away, and someone's trying to crawl security.
I was gonna get thrown in the brig real soon.
Maybe.
Oh, no.
We'll see how that goes.
Oh no, the principal is gonna call you dad.
At this point, it is player's turn.
What do you think, Maldon?
You would have your standard gear on you, even as civilians.
Yeah, well, I'm not about to pull anything. I'm not dumb enough to pull anything out and start shooting.
Yeah, and not, and especially not on a Federation
Stun is
state.
an option.
No.
I still, honestly, I still wouldn't even feel comfortable with stun.
We're doing this manio e mano, so we might as well continue that way. All right, so
Yeah,
here,
I'll be the hype man off to the side then.
I'll go ahead. I'll go at him.
100%. I was not expecting this.
All right. Well, L's combat skills are about to show. So yeah, he will take a flying leap towards the guy to just tackle him and take a couple blows.
Okay. How does your aerial combat work? I'm not familiar with that.
All right. So aerial combat. Minor action can move to any zone within long range instead of medium and ignore any difficulty increases associated with terrain. Also has advantage against ground-based targets.
Okay, so you have so you have one advantage against fighting Noskin because he is ground-based and you can fly. So you basically get automatically one hit. Yep.
And we have a second one for spending the momentum and the threat on an advantage. So I really have 2 advantages here.
Okay, so you have 2 advantages. How would you like to apply those?
I guess one to reduce any difficulty of any attacks made by me, and 1 to increase his difficulty on any attacks.
Okay, we could do that. Oppose daring insecurity. And I'm going to purchase an extra dice. Also, we need our bar fight music.
You need that classic Kirk fight music.
Unfortunately, I can't do that because it's copyrighted.
I'll get an extra die by giving you 1 threat. Oh, athletics.
Here I am!
Athletics since he's flying.
Yeah, but I was singing it, so that doesn't count.
Sorry, what was that?
Athletics focus.
Athletics focus, yes. I'm gonna pull out a knife for this so I get a focus. Do you have a reroll?
You know what? I'll spend the determination for the reroll.
On what value?
Never waste an opportunity to fly.
I will accept it.
All right, and just because I really need to get a good hit on him, I will also use the use my star cross for this as well.
Okay.
So that's 4 successes.
Yes, that is indeed 4 successes because you knocked out one of mine and you add one to yours. So, go ahead and roll all damage.
Is a security officer considered operations?
Yes.
Uh, 4 damage.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm still awake. Yay! Would you like to keep the initiative for two threat?
Nah.
All right.
Unless Adam really wants to give you a threat for it and jump in. I mean, I'll give him the option, but I don't think we need to.
All right. I'm upset with you. Minor action, stand up. Minor action, and move within range. Actually, it's just Bird Boy already attacked me, so I'm just gonna attack you, L. Oppose daring security.
Well, I haven't treated a phaser yet. That's assuming it's not on disintegrate.
No, disintegration is actually really hard to do. Would you like to purchase additional dice, L?
Really?
Yeah,
Because it sure looks easy on the TV show and the movies.
I know.
Pretty much you push the button and bammo.
What? 1 dice with threat
Okay.
and athletics still.
Ooh. Tie goes to defender.
Well, it's not even a tie because of the advantages.
Because you have an advantage of flying. So, yep, he goes to swipe at you with a dagger. You just fly out of range, and you're able to return a kick to him. And that is enough to knock him out. As he swipes in a wide out arc, you just kick him in the head, and it's enough to knock him out as he falls to the ground and breaks the table.
Elle looks at him and like, "You're an Oskin. Where's your damn endurance?"
At this point, Starfleet security he finally shows up, and they have their phasers. No, they just have stun batons out, and they're asking, "What's going on? What happened here? Everyone, hands in the air."
Hands are going to be in the air. I don't fancy getting beaten down by security.
You two, what happened? And he points to you two who are standing over top of the body.
Well, we were having drinks and sitting at that table, and then this Gnostic in here was chasing this woman over here who went crashing down on our table, but we tried to reason with him, and he assaulted her, and so I intervened.
That's about the size of it.
Prison security difficulty 1. Maldone. Elle can take lead, and Maldone can assist.
Presence security difficulty 1?
Yep. Would you like to purchase additional dice?
No.
Do you have any applicable focuses?
No. But
Okay.
I'm gonna throw I'm gonna throw either persuasion or composure into the ring for that on mine.
I will accept persuasion. And waiting on Maldone, possibly extra momentum.
Present security, you say?
Correct. And you'd be rolling 1 dice.
Yes. Nada.
Oof. However, the security officer does believe your story. He still wants your name, rank, and serial number, or at least your
Absolutely.
names.
Give that. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's no issue. I can give that.
We
Elle?
both do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maldone.
And Elle will even say you can check the security footage too.
Okay. Meanwhile, the woman is just like absolutely distraught on the ground, just sobbing, and not having any of this.
I'm just gonna let security handle that one. I'm not going to try and engage with her.
What's wrong? You don't like humans? I mean, you don't like Trill?
Well, I'm just not good at talking to people who are distraught.
You might get a
Inebriated,
date
sure.
out of it.
I'm not trying to date
She-
anyone right now.
She does eventually gain in composure and
Besides, you're the hero of this story.
No, I'm no hero.
I don't know. Were you there? Did you see, like, my guy?
He's being extra modest about it.
you were doing like flying
you laid him
jujitsu
out,
in
man.
there.
You laid him out. I didn't
That's
even see you get hit.
No, he's gonna be real modest about it.
Okay.
Security.
Well, I'm gonna.
Security does take your notes, your details. They do take security footage and some tricorder scans. They do see that. Okay, yes. As this seems to line up with what you're doing, your Starfleet officers, we're just gonna take your word on it. And if we have any questions, we can check the feeds.
My question is, who's gonna replace our drinks?
Oh man, I forgot about that.
At this point, after all that, the woman gives her notes, and she seems to be a bit calmer down, and she walks up to you two and says, "Thank you for that. Remind me never to work with Nausicaans ever again."
Okay. Never
Why
work
did
with
you work with
Nausicaans ever again. I have now
first
reminded
place?
you. I have now done that. You're good to go.
Is there anything I can and do for you, gentlemen? I'm sorry for diving across your table. I was just trying to get a cover before he could pull a disruptor out on me. My name's Mela Yen. I'm a civilian and engineer here. I do small repairs to components, and it's try to sneak in some upgrades on civilian ships.
Well, you can pull up a chair, buy a round of drinks, and have a conversation with us.
It is at this point you realize, ow, your leg hurts.
My leg hurts. How much
As
time do you have to do that?
as I spent to threat, while he didn't and actually swing at you, he did and nick your leg, and you do have an injury on your leg.
Great.
That's where Boggy comes in.
Damn.
Uh,
That looks like it hurts. We should probably get the bleeding fixed.
Yeah, he'll hit his communicator and say,
DSC has medical personnel.
DSC, yeah, you can just go to DSC medical.
nah, he likes his doctor. Dr. Bog, Lieutenant L. He's waiting for a response.
If he
takes a
doesn't
little
get
bit.
one. Oh, okay.
It takes a little bit. So Dr. Bog,
I have an injury I would like you to take a look at. I'm in and he'll name the bar or restaurant.
Like Deck 4
Very
Very
Lounge.
casually.
I'm guessing that it's not serious since you're contacting me yourself.
You might want to look at it.
I'm in the middle of a holodeck program. Is this not something that the base medical team can't handle?
You're my doctor.
Who is on shore leave? That's vacation.
That makes two of us.
Well, while you're on vacation, you can deal with the station medical personnel unless this is something significant. Do you have a reason to believe that you've been poisoned?
Maybe.
No.
Well, if medical personnel think that's the case, I'll come on out. But until then, I'd suggest you make your way to their sickbay. Doctor out. Click.
Oof. You can talk to station personnel.
All right. He'll call station medical bay?
Yeah. They.
He's
Yeah.
not going anywhere. He's going to stay there and keep drinking. Let them come to him, but he'll call us.
Station medical will come and come to you. Two nurses or EMTs come up and sigh. There's another bar fight, and there's already operations and in the area already cleaning the place up. And they take a look at your knee and they're able to clean that up for you.
I'm guessing it wasn't that bad.
It didn't actually do damage. I kind of cheated and said that it was an injury, but it didn't actually. It was mostly superficial, but it was superficial in a way that it hurt. It's like over thin parts of the skin.
I think you were trying to get something for me to do. That's okay. I understand.
I've tried.
But I'm doing exactly what Dr. Bog would be doing. And that's
no, the roleplay was awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to spend resources on the Deep Space Arcania to heal a scratch. Although Dr. Efrix is totally going to get word of this.
Wait a second. How is she going to get word of it?
This is her station. She's the chief medical officer of Tiger Squadron and essentially of Deep Space Arcania.
But she was on the Kismet. It's missing in action.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, so this is all Corbinian's problem now. Got it.
I wonder if Dr. Bog also may have heard the slight inebriation in the call, which would have made it even worse. Like, are you kidding me?
Probably not a stretch of the imagination. Would you have tried to hide your inebriation?
When you're inebriated, you don't realize that you're not sounding, or that you are sounding inebriated.
Okay, so he might be in a little pain, but you know. But keep in mind, he's also been drinking and is in a good mood from hanging out with Maldon.
Dr. Bog, go ahead and give me insight medicine and difficulty 1.
I mean, I was like, oh, it's just a scratch.
Listen.
So, Bog, I'm sure Dr. Bog will have lots of questions when he does take a look at it.
Would my counseling count as a focus here?
I'll accept counseling. Yeah,
Right.
Counseling could kind of cover altered mental states.
Oh yeah, I could almost smell the alcohol over the comm link.
Yeah, which again, he's off duty. You're off duty. It is not your problem. However you want to deal with that. But you are aware that the two of them were slightly tipsy when this happened.
Well, again, if he's tipsy and he's able to call me on the comm link, I'm figuring that's probably not anything that the regular staff of the station can't handle. Got roughed up doing something, and it doesn't need to cut my shore leave in my program short here because of that.
No, and your program, roleplay wise, it totally makes sense that you would not want to cut that short.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yep. And now we can move out of the creepy music. Lost Horizon. There it is.
Sorry, I didn't mean to bubble about Everix.
No, it's someone's problem. Regardless, your leg is healed up. The troll explains her name. Aim is Mila Yan. And yeah, she owns a small repair shop. She doesn't get into the warp engines, but she works on the auxiliary stuff around a ship. Warp engines are a little too high end for her, but you know, she works on the auxiliary systems of a ship, and mainly works with the civilian and traders that are coming through the system. And this was just one customer who was not happy with him.
Well, I guess probably just make friends to the point that we have a contact if we ever need spare parts.
I can allow a presence. Okay, that's definitely a presence role. Oh, what department would it be? Command, con, or engineering? I'm kind of yeah, just any of those three.
Presence.
Yep.
And can I get an assist from Maldon?
Yep. And this would be difficulty 2 to create an advantage.
Presence what?
Either command or con or engineering, just kind of depending on how you go about persuading her. You know, what reasoning thing you bring to the table.
I'll probably go with a reason.
Okay.
All right, so again, what? So, goodness, reason what?
You get your choice between command, con, or engineering.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you're
Sorry
probably
about
going to
that.
want to use con more than likely.
You know, I think you might be onto something right there. Wow. All right then.
Man, you have had a rough night on the dice.
Yeah, seriously.
She's not impressed. I mean, she knows you're Starfleet officer, so you already get top of the line stuff. I mean, you don't really want her like experimental EPS as power grid stuff, or her high end force field, or she could get alien tech.
Have a drink with us. Let's talk some more.
You could attempt that at roll again, but it'll be difficulty 3.
Okay.
Would you like to spend some resources on this?
Wait, Maldon, I got a feeling your stats are probably going to be a little bit better than mine are here, because I have no focus. Like,
all right,
and
Maldon,
we do have one
do you want to take the lead?
There.
Sure, I'll take the lead.
All right.
Yeah, okay, you got that composure and persuasion.
Yes, I do.
Yep, those focuses would definitely work. You have 1 momentum, and there's an infinite amount of threat.
So, and
you also have bold.
What's difficulty? Yeah, what's the difficulty?
It'll be presence con Reason Con difficulty 3.
Okay. If we're gonna go with difficulty 3, I'll go ahead and spend a momentum to grab a third dice.
1 momentum?
Wait, do I need to specifically spend threat to get results out of bold con?
Yes, that would specifically have to be threat.
Okay, scrap the momentum expenditure and instead spend it.
Yep, that gets you 1 reroll.
For the assist. Ah,
That's better.
got the
And
3.
that's 3.
Thank you, Maldon.
A few drinks in and listening to your reasoning, if and when and she has any interesting technology, she might be able to hook you up. So, Maldon, I'm adding a trait to your sheet.
Perfect.
Friend of and you are now the friend of Mela Yen, engineering contact on DSE. So when you are in the system or within hailing range, you could ring her up and ask for any sort of experimental or alien technology, and she could bring that to you as an advantage.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You know, since you gentlemen are so helpful. And the night goes through. Day and night happen. Dr. Bog is now out of his holodeck program, feeling refreshed, and has now gone back to doing his paperwork.
I'll make sure I take my memory module with.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah, if that was a personal holodeck program, it would have been a lot harder to hack. But oh well. Yeah, just remind me next time you pull up this specific holodeck program that you're using it from a memory modular.
Okay.
Yep. Otherwise, once you get out of the holodeck, you find out that Elle and Maldon had an interesting night, and Maldon has requested to have a dinner or a drink or just, a small casual hangout with you. Unprofessional.
Also, let it know that the date on that is before the bar fight.
Yeah, the date of that invitation was before the bar fight happened.
Okay, I'll what is it, like an email kind of thing where I respond to it?
Yeah, it would be like an email.
I'll just send back, sorry, Lieutenant Maldon, I missed this while I was on my shore leave. I apologize, and then just sign it, Dr. Bog. Send the message.
Wait, didn't we have 2 weeks of shore leave?
It was
Dr. Bog?
It was 1 week of shore leave.
Yeah, for me,
okay.
I've been gone out of pocket for 48 hours, I think he said.
Yep.
And now I'm headed back to the ship. I mean, I'm a chief medical officer. I really can't afford to be down there the whole week. So,
okay.
For me, that's kind of my time. That was my time.
Okay.
In my opinion, that's what Bog would be. He would not take a full week, probably.
That makes sense.
We don't all get commander pay.
Wait, we get
probably,
paid? Sorry, Maldon.
No, that's fine. I would also just send back a I don't really know exactly how it would be worded, but basically, if he'd be up to it at any other point during the rest of shore leave, I'd still be more than happy to have dinner with him or something like that.
Sure, I'll respond back that I would be happy to meet with him. Basically the next evening. That while I'm working, I am abbreviating my hours and still availing myself to the better food on the station. Hot gut on the ship.
It's replicated rock gut, so you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The messages is go back and forth, and you can arrange a time the following evening to meet with each other. How formal or how casual would you want this event to be?
Does Bog have a preference?
Well, I'm hoping it's casual. I'm coming out not in Starfleet duds, so.
All right.
If you show up in your Starfleet uniform, oh well. I'm assuming it's a casual deal.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't Starfleet uniform our usual casual, and it's only formal if we're wearing our formal
just
uniforms?
show up at McDonald's in your dress whites.
Well, I feel like Bones, like when Bones showed up at Kirk's house in Star Trek 2, they weren't in uniform.
Yeah. All you have, civilian clothes, appropriate to the time and space. Hopefully dressed a little better than Jake Sisko was, because goodness.
I'm thinking more of how everyone usually stayed in uniform in DS9, even when they're people from other ships.
Yeah.
Is DS9 got Cardassians on it?
DSE?
Or DSE? Yeah.
You're really far away from Cardassian space. There might be like one or two just random civilians who went to the Wild Blue Yonder, but
No,
not a huge presence.
Dr. Bog would not be in uniform if he's not on duty. He especially you go down, he just isn't going to want to draw attention to himself as Starfleet. He's just, he doesn't, if he goes down, it's not going to be in uniform. I mean, unless it's something that the captain orders us to be in uniform all the time. I would put casual stuff on.
You have all leeway to be casual, especially since you're on shore leave and it's off hours and it's on Deep Space Arcania. You can be in casual civilian clothing.
Yeah,
Bog, you do you.
Yeah,
Yep.
He just wouldn't want any kind of headache of somebody coming up, wanting to start a fight with Starfleet. You guys killed my brother, or something. He'd be trying to go as nondescript as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So, just a casual, pull-up bar, one of the kiosk restaurants in the promenade.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not assuming this is some sort of formal deal from.
Yeah. You can pull. You can go to the promenade. It's kind of the same setup up as a food court. There's lots of little kiosks, and they make fresh, real food in front of you. All different races, is all different in cuisine, so you can kind of pick up whatever little meal you want.
Okay.
And you can find a nice quiet corner in the promenade.
Dr. Bog would be right on time.
Perfect. Aldone would already be there.
Lieutenant, good evening.
Good evening.
You haven't started too far ahead of me, have you?
Oh no. I haven't even picked anything yet.
Okay. Bog would order something that's probably a dark stout kind of beer of some kind of ale.
Real alcohol or synthetic?
He would go for the real stuff, but
No.
you would also note that he basically just really takes his time, sips it. He's not, I mean, that one glass is going to last him the entire meal and then some.
Okay, so oh yeah, you can do that and definitely hold your liquor, especially if it's just a stout beer or not anything harder. So
How knowledgeable would Dr. Bog be about alcohol? Specifically, the type of beer that he's drinking. Does he kind of have a wide palate on that?
Yeah, I would say that he's not a connoisseur, but he knows a little bit about a couple of different ones that he's found, and he's not like a light beer drinker. It's obvious he likes the stuff that's more of a crafty kind of nature, whatever that would be in the 25th century or 24th century.
Yeah, you can and easily enjoy your beer and not risk getting inebriated.
Yeah.
So Maldon would say something to the effect of, I haven't really had too many of the dark earthling beers. And then he'd ask, do you have any recommendations? And he'd kind of give him a little bit of an idea of what kind of palate Maldon has, and see if we can't find one that matches up with that.
Okay. Dr. Bog would kind of dig a little deeper about what specific taste you're looking for. Kind of, looking for earthy, hoppy kind of thing or whatever. And I don't know much about beer, so some of this I might
me
be making
neither.
up,
So
No,
yeah,
but
so
we'll make
both
this
of us.
work. Reason, con.
Yeah. And basically trying to really kind of narrow down what earth beer might satisfy your palate really well and go well with whatever you're ordering too.
Right.
Of course.
No.
Reason, con,
Yep, reason, con, or
Is that from
medicine.
both of us?
medicine.
Or
Okay.
Dr. Bog will be doing the reason, as he's the one who's working over the list. Maldon will be
Can I-
assisting with presence as you're explaining to him, kind of what your taste palette is and kind of what your experience is.
So can I use counseling as a focus here, in that I know the questions to ask to kind of get what I'm asking, what I need from the person to get the right answer?
That's an interesting way of putting it. I will accept that.
Okay. Hit the roll button. She's a little slow tonight, Captain.
Yeah, and they also did an update to the UI, so I'm all sorts of confused.
Oh, I hit it twice. I waited long, what I thought was long enough. Anyway, there you go.
All right. Yeah, that would have just been a difficulty one. So two momentum generated as through the course of talking it out and discussing in different palettes and tastes, and also Dr. Bog's knowledge of xenobiology and how the different chemistries work between benzite and human taste palettes, and you're able to narrow down to a fairly good beer that matches what you expected, Maldon. Whether or not it's a good taste or not, I'll leave that up to you, but it's a fairly well-matched beer.
we'll go ahead and call it a good taste. Or good tasting beer. Wow. Wow. It's not very common that I get someone that describes a flavor to me and it's spot on. Well done.
Well, I'm not an expert, but I do a lot of reading about this.
Well, you certainly make it look easy, that's for sure. Thank you.
Glad you enjoyed it. You hadn't, I suppose I'd have had to buy it, because I'd have felt bad. So, how are you finding yourself settling in the Svalinn?
Oh, oh, I'd love to fly the Delta Flyer a little bit more. It's fantastic. But overall, I like the crew. Get the chance to fly pretty often. Love that. Yeah, things are going well, I would say. Bit
Okay.
weird with dealing with extra dimensional beings, but well, apparently that just kind of happens every once in a while. So
Well, we are out on the edge, aren't we?
yeah,
We need to figure out a way to get you some more time in that Delta Flyer, though, don't we?
no, I mean, if we could,
Well,
you certainly won't hear any complaints out of me for that.
I understand how somebody that enjoys piloting would certainly prefer that over the responsiveness of a starship. Not that the Svalinn is difficult to pilot or what's the word I'm looking for? Slow to respond. It's certainly nimble enough, but there's a difference between flying something like that and what is essentially what on old Earth would have been called a jet fighter.
Yeah, it's definitely it uses I would say it uses a different portion of the brain. It's more intelligence based than anything else, whereas something like a Delta Flyer is more reflex based. I get an enjoyment out of both, but I'm a fair bit better with my reflex.
Nice. What drew you to piloting? When did you decide you wanted to be a pilot?
It's kind of weird. So I've definitely always been like attracted to driving, piloting, all that kind of stuff. Maybe it's not as weird as I thought, but I don't know. There's just something about being the brain of something else that I don't know. It's just strangely appealing to me.
And when did you first get to pilot something?
Oh gosh, I was young. I remember sitting in my dad's lap when I was only 2 or 3 rotations old, holding onto a steering wheel, not actually piloting anything, but I had my hands on the wheel,
Certainly felt like it to you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. And now, how long have you been doing this now? Did you go right into Starfleet, or did you take a little while?
No, I pretty much went straight into Starfleet. There was always at the colony I was at. There was always there's always a ship somewhere that had Starfleet markings on it. So I knew that if I joined up with Starfleet, I should have plenty of chance to fly.
Okay, so I've got a question for you. Out of what you've had the opportunity to pilot at this time in your life, what has your favorite been?
Completely, bluntly honest, a Delta Flyer is in a different class
Than anything you've ever done, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's top of the line. It's nimble as you could possibly have any ship be. And the controls, they just feel right.
Nice. And if you could pick anything, Starfleet came to you and said, "We're going to let you fly anything you want today. Is there anything different that you would like to fly?"
I don't know. Like, right now, because we've been talking about it, I would pretty much pick the Delta Flyer.
I understand.
But
there's nothing like maybe even like the Galaxy class, or I hear they're extremely nimble for the size.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing. It would be more of a whenever the mood takes me to do that. Right now, and that's what I'm saying, is right now it's the that Delta Flyer. But I've certainly been in the mood for, larger ships like a Galaxy class, and I run tons of simulations too. So I do get a flavor of that every now and then.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's go to the Hollow Suites, and I think they've got a program we might be able to utilize, and just show me what you got in a Delta Flyer. I think we can probably muster up a program on that, and show me what you got.
Oh, you. All right, perfect. Let's go. Maldon is like rubbing his hands together. He's excited. He's getting really, really excited.
Okay.
Oh, you want to get more excited?
Go ahead.
If you ask the captain, you could possibly get permission to take the real Slipnir out and take it for a spin.
Really?
Would
would Bog know that about Calder yet?
Just part of Starfleet protocol, you could ask permission to requisition a shuttle during your shore leave.
And basically take it for a spin. He'd be okay with that. I didn't figure he'd be okay with it, but maybe I guess.
It's allowed. I'm not sure or if Calder would allow it.
They do it all the time on the show.
Right. They're usually going to a conference or something like that. This is like, hey, Captain, can we have the keys to the hot rod? We're just going to run it around the solar system a little bit, and we'll be right back.
If you put it directly like that, but if you put it as we're doing a navigational survey, or we're doing a test flight to check the systems for something, or no, there's ways you can weasel it if you want to take the real thing out.
So just a quick
there's the holodeck.
There's a quick thing off to the side. So my other plans, other than having the conversations and dinner with everyone, was actually to see if there was any sort of, gaming competition of sorts.
Ooh.
That involved flying and whatnot. So I imagine I might already have that information on hand, and I would then invite Bog to be in the simulation with me as I fly in one of the sets for that competition.
In that case, Ace, it wouldn't be a physical flight, but this Deep Space Arcania.
I kind of got, and actually, to be truthful, GM, I've got a method to my madness here. So, if I would probably start on the holodeck initially, because I would want to basically, I'm going to put him in a simulation where he really gets to shine. I'm looking to as a counselor, I'm looking to really let Maldon show off. And while we could do that to some extent in the real Delta Flyer, I can't put him in an asteroid field in the Delta Flyer, but in a simulation we can. You know what I'm saying? So it's
With that logic, you could. Deep Space Arcania would not have access to a Delta Flyer flight simulation program. You have one available on the Svalinn, and you can do there. As for a competition, you could go. There's various pits where air games and stuff go. Oh, and there's a couple of them that are There's 4 of them that are linked together, and it's a competitive flight simulator.
Okay, so roll this back a little bit. The first thing would be, I assume, Maldon, you were like, hey, I've got this in the next 30 minutes. I'm supposed to be here for this gaming competition. And Bog would ask to come along. I would. Because I'm kind of, in my mind, I'm helping a senior staff member kind of unwind and working my counseling angle a little bit here. Okay?
All right.
He wasn't doing anything when on shore leave.
If you'll remember, I had 48 hours and now I'm back on the job. And now, like my thing here, the drive to heal and save lives and things like that. That's I'm making sure my crew is healthy.
Yeah, this totally makes sense. Within the next 30 minutes or so, Maldon, you did sign up for one of these like dogfighting, snub fighter, or flight simulator races, and
Perfect.
it's basically you're simulated in a holodeck pod out of you being at the controls of a really small spindly craft, and you're flying in and out of trenches, and there's asteroids and blaster fire all over the place, and it's a
Fantastic.
spectator air sport. So you're in the pod and you're just immersed in the environment, but everyone outside of the pods can look in and kind of see what you guys are doing.
Sounds good.
Do I need to take some Dramamine before this?
If you're outside of the pod, it's fine. It's a little disorientating, because it looks like he's just sitting in a chair and the environment's
wanna
spinning
ride.
around him.
I would want to ride.
You
I
would
would
want to
so
ride?
Oh yeah.
Depends on how crazy easy Maldon's gonna get in that at simulator, because it does have simulated G's.
Okay. I would dose myself with a triox compound to just make sure I'm not gonna vomit everywhere.
Control medicine difficulty 1. Just to make sure you get the dosage right. Yeah. Yeah, you got
I will
yourself.
need to peace out. I will need to peace out after this segment is done.
Okay.
FYI as well.
We could do this segment. As you get into the pit, there's 3 other pilots. It's there. There's a young trio male, and an older or gruff Tellarite, and an Aurelian, and who is flying. Looks like the Aurelian is the one to beat.
All right.
And what we're going to do is an extended task to represent this race. So we're gonna have 3 legs of the race. Where is my extended task token? I like using that. Oops. Sorry, Bog. I put that over your token.
Oh.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 3, how difficult all of a course are you going for?
I'm looking to take. I'm looking to if I gotta really pull out all the stops, then I don't know how my stats line up, but as difficult as I would be capable, as I think I'd be capable of doing.
Okay. Let's do a difficulty 4, our task. Oops. Difficulty 4, magnitude 4. Diff 4 or mag 4, and this is going to be control or daring con, and a work track of, let's see, 4 times 5, about 20. Let's do about work track of 18, and resistance of 2.
Whew.
and basically you're trying to finish this course before or the other people go.
Gotcha. And the complication range?
Complication in range would be 1.
Okay.
And I think about air music for this. All right, and you settle into your pod. Dr. Bog is right behind you. Basically riding a shotgun, and simulation and takes place. On your marks, get set, go. And for your first leg of the race, we have control or daring con, difficulty 4.
Okay.
How would you like to do this?
I can't actually see how much momentum we have right now.
We have 3 momentum and an infinite amount of threat you can pull from.
Okay, let's go for 4 dice, 1 in momentum, 2 in threat.
Got it.
So I'm rolling 4 dice.
Any talents or focuses that would come into play?
All fingers or thumbs gives me float after the fact.
Yep.
What does augmented ability control do again?
If you increase the complication range to 2, you can get 1 automatic success when
go
you're
ahead and
using
do that.
control. Okay.
And then bold con is reroll related. So.
Yep.
All right. First roll.
One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 with augment, so that is 1 momentum generated plus 1 on float. As first leg of the race, Ace, you are zipping and zagging through asteroids. As you're trying to catch rings that are within centimeters of the surface of the asteroid, it feels like, and you are twirling about them. Let's see how your competition does. Go ahead and spend 1 dice. Oof. Yeah, your competition as total has fallen behind you as they're kind of caught up in the asteroid field. Go ahead and roll me 6 challenge dice. Okay, that is 1, 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 2 resistance. That is only 3 work. Would you like to spend a momentum to reroll those zeros?
Correct.
All right. The 1 float from all fingers and thumbs could apply to that.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll 2 more our challenge dice. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus 2 resistance. That is 6 work, which is enough for our 1 breakthrough as you manage to blast through the first part of the race. Second part of the race, the trench run. And as you are flying through a trench and in the superstructure, and there's laser fire. You have to dodge, but it's a maze. It's not just a straight run. So sometimes the corridor changes quite suddenly, but it blends into the background. So with that, I'm going to increase the difficulty of this, saying that it's very hard to differentiate when you're supposed to turn and when you're and where those turns are. So control or daring, difficulty 4.
Ooh, difficulty 4.
Yep.
Okay.
As I spent 2 threats, you keep that up.
All right. We'll go ahead and we're not going to spend the we're not going to get that automatic success.
Okay.
Keep it from going up to a 5. But everything else will keep the same. Actually, how much momentum do I have?
We have 3 momentum now.
Okay, I'll spend all the momentum for 2 additional dice.
Okay. Would you like to spend any threat so you can get the bold old reroll?
Yeah, let's go ahead and bump it up to 5 dice then.
All right. So that would be, yeah, either way, 3 momentum and 3 threat altogether. So you're rolling control con, you're rolling 5 dice altogether. You do have a focus, yes, and your complication range is set at 1.
Okay, and we are rolling.
That is 4. Not quite.
Oh, I can get the reroll though, right?
You have 1 reroll, all with bold. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money! There it is. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5 success.
5, 6. Oh, it's actually 6 success. Yep. So you got 2 float, or 2 momentum generated, plus 1 float from fingers and thumbs. As you successfully navigated at that course, go ahead and give me 6 challenge dice. One momentum to reroll those zeros.
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 2, that is 4. Not enough for breakthrough. You could do 1 extra work with momentum, and that will give you a breakthrough.
Yep, let's do it.
All right. Add 5 to the table. Plus 1 breakthrough. No. Plus 1 breakthrough and plus 1. I'm doing that right. Plus 1 magnitude. As you manage to get out of the trench run, now we are moving on to the Badlands. And as plasma storms swirl around you, lightning discharges across shore bow and tries to hit you. Let's see how close your frenemies are. Can they clear the first leg? Let's roll some challenge dice. I don't have a sheet up. As 2 of them have caught up to you, one of them is just on your tail. We are now in the 3rd phase. Control con difficulty 2.
My phone is about to die, so I am trying to get my laptop set up just real quickly so that we can finish this out.
Sorry.
You're fine. Okay. Well, we're gonna go for 4 dice.
Okay, so that is 1. And then... Okay. 1 momentum and 2 threat to get 4 dice total.
Okay. Mouse pad isn't working on my laptop. But we can go ahead and just roll that.
Yeah, I can pull up your sheet and roll for you.
You know who else has one? I do. Thank you, though.
Control con. 4 dice. Yes.
Okay, that should keep my phone alive for a little while. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and roll. That is...
Go ahead and grab a reroll.
Yep.
For 1 dice. Yes.
Nice. So that's difficulty 5 on a difficulty 2 task. That is 3 extra, plus 1 more from all those thumbs you have. Go ahead and 6 challenge dice.
Not mean to do that.
Yeah.
Max.
Go ahead and roll 6 total.
Yep. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't press enter.
Yeah. You know what? There we go.
Ooh.
All right. 1 float to reroll 4, I'm assuming.
Absolutely. Oh, what? I didn't press enter again.
Yeah, the sheet's kind of weird like that.
There
All
we
right.
go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Minus 2. That is only 3 work. Not enough for a breakthrough, but it does help. Do you wish to spend 2 momentum for 2 extra work?
I've got the... How many momentum is that going to leave me with for the next round?
Now, actually, since you have chevrons, 1 momentum for piercing, that would get rid of the resistance. That will probably be the more economic term. And that'll leave you 2 momentum altogether. Yeah, that works out. So 1, 2, 4, 5. Plus 5. You're almost at the end. As I hit my mic. Last stretch, you actually have to dive deep into a Jovian atmosphere. So not only do you have to deal with 1,000-mile-per-hour crosswinds and static discharges, but also increasing hull pressure.
Okay.
You dive, but the idea is to dive through the planet, deep into the atmosphere, grab that last wing, and slingshot around down to the finish line.
Perfect.
Difficulty 1. Actually, no. Difficulty 2.
Okay. We'll go ahead and grab 5 dice. Plan to blow this last bit out of the water.
All right, so 1 threat, 2 momentum. All right, so 2 momentum plus 4 threat. Diff 3. I'm gonna play with you. That is Diff 3 and Complication 2 now. As the controls are getting a little stiff.
Fair enough. There's kind of an entire atmosphere that's not very conducive to flying right now.
Yeah, it's just a lot of pressure on your shoulders, you know.
Oh.
Oof! As you crush that last leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on a diff 3. Roll me that beautiful challenge dice.
6,
6 total. Yep.
and we'll re-roll those 2.
All right. With fingers of thumb, we can re-roll that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus the resistance, and so that is 4. However, that is enough to complete the work track, and that is a breakthrough. As you dive deep into the atmosphere, you're struggling to keep the craft straight. You're actually using the crosswinds to kind of sway between in atmospheric levels. And you get down, you grab that last ring. You grab that last ring, and you nosedive to the planet. The simulation is shaking. You hear the hull creaking, and you slingshot out, and you hit that finish line.
Perfect. So this is something that I definitely would have been doing throughout, but I just kind of forgot because I'm like, yes, work track time. I would be taking, not during some of the more stressful parts, but in like the sort of relaxed parts in between, I'd be kind of explaining to Dr. Bog like what segment of the race is coming up, what I, kind of give a brief plan of what I plan to do. Check on him, make sure he's doing okay, that I don't need to let him off.
Anime logic. Understandable.
It's definitely anime logic.
Xenobiology, biology a focus?
Yes. But yeah, Dr. Bog, how are you handling it back there?
Trying not to puke.
Yeah, you probably pulled a good, like, even with inertial dampeners, as pilots like to turn that down a little bit, you probably pulled a good 6 Gs, and you saw you saw Picard at the end of a tunnel. Your vision just blacked out, and you just see the face of Picard, like, what the heck? And then you step back.
The edges of his vision get dark, and
yeah, I'm pretty certain that I would have looked like that guy that's like, "You with me, Dave?" The fighter video where the guy keeps passing out while he's chewing his gum.
Yep.
Thud. Yep.
There would have been a few of those, like after like not during the turn because I'm actually extremely focused, but after the G subsides, like, you doing all right?
Yep. Very much that. I forgot to ask Dr. Bog, would you like to spend any resources on that roll?
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum.
All right.
Okay. And this would have been flying in something that's not actually the Delta Flyer for this thing, right?
No, this would have been a custom like snub fighter.
I mean,
It's
the
pod racing.
It's pod. Now this is pod racing.
don't cross the fan up.
All right. As you finish the race, the simulation in shuts down. The other fighter, the other pilots, it's race across the line, and they give you congratulatory pats on the back. A couple of them slip you some latinum. Let's see how much.
Did they win bets or something?
Yeah, there's some bets going around. 4 slips and 6 strips make it your way. So
when the cockpit opens, Bog is he's holding on to the sides, and his legs look a little rubbery when he walks out, and he just kind of looks at you, Alden, and he says, "That was impressive."
He'll take a half bow.
And I think I'm going to talk to the captain and see if we can't get that flyer out and have some fun with it. But I'm going to have to figure out a good excuse. But I think I'm going to have to take my leave. That's even with my my prior injection, I'm feeling a little queasy. I think I'm going to have to call it for the evening. Thanks for the offer to hang out. I like to get to know the crew better, and I think our lovely little Svalinn is in great hands.
After you say, I think that's about all it can handle, even after the injection. I can't really pull off the type of laugh that I'd like to do, but it's like a full party, well, as much as a Benzite can laugh.
Okay. Bog smiles and says, "Yeah, all right. I'm gonna make my way on out of here. Again, that was an impressive ride. Thanks."
Anytime, Dr. Bog.
Excellent.
All right. Yeah, I gotta jump ship now, but thank you. Appreciate it.
No, that was fun.
Let me letting me crush some plebs in the old simulator.
Have a good one, man. We'll see you a little later.
We'll see you later.
All right.
Mhm. All right, and switch the music up. Meanwhile, something that we dropped a while ago. You had some mysterious sensor scans from the guy with the tall tail.
Yep.
All right. Those files do get transferred to your ship. this is going to be a relatively small I'll task, but his computer is old and it was kind of beat up during the event. So there's going to be some computer tasks to take care of.
All right.
As we pull up senior extended task again.
Quick question on phaser 2s.
Yes.
What's the chevron? I'm looking at the Game Master screen here, and it says Type 2 ranged, and then it's got the 3 chevrons. What does that mean, and why is it that some of our character sheets have more than that for the phaser?
Challenge dice.
Yeah.
And it's because it's the phaser, but it varies because it adds your security score to it.
Your entire security score gets added to it. I see.
Yeah,
Yep, it's the base ace weapon score, but every time you use a weapon, you add your security score to the challenge dice damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so pretty much treated the numbers by the chevron as a modifier.
Ah, I gotcha. All right. Thank you for that.
Assign. Let's go diff.
Yeah, no problem.
Work. All right. To pull up these computer files and sort through them, you have reason science, difficulty 2, magnitude 2, work track 12, resistance 3. And the ship can help with computer science.
All right. All right. Is there any way to create like a advantage by studying his computer system and how the by studying his computer system and understanding the data better?
You could create an advantage with either a determination, or you can do a difficulty to reason engineering score.
Let's do that.
All right, diff 2 reason engineering.
Reason, engineering, research focus, or computers focus.
Computers focus, yes.
All right, and talent, computer expertise.
Yes, computer expertise. And the computers can assist with computers engineering to get this advantage.
Okay. Oh, really?
And if someone wants to get the Svalinn sheet.
I got it.
All right.
Benito 1 at least.
Okay, computer science.
Computers engineering. There's that one.
Thank you.
As you understand the base design of his computer, and that does gain an advantage advantage of knowing his computer system. So you would be able to apply that to difficulty, difficulty or extra work, or decrease the resistance.
Let's decrease resistance.
All right. We're at resistance 2. Now we are at, this is reason, science, difficulty 2. Complication H2, that data is really degraded.
All right. Focus research.
Correct?
Buy one one die with momentum.
Okay. And the computer science does exist.
Calder, can you get that for me?
Don't worry, I got you.
Thank you, Calder. All right, 2 momentum generated. 5 plus 2. Go ahead and roll me 7 and challenge dice. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Minus is 2. That is 6.
That's a breakthrough.
That is a breakthrough. So plus 6 work. That is plus 1 breakthrough and plus 1 magnitude. As you find out that the data was kind of scrambled and really messed up, and he also doesn't have the best sensors for what he was looking at, but you managed to sort that data out, and you just have the raw data in front of you. Now it's the process of going through the raw data and figuring out what the heck actually happened.
Okay. Testing a theory.
Yep.
Still have research.
And the ship with computer science. Yep. All right, so we have difficulty 1, 5. Yeah, you can quash that easy. You have 2 float, and it is quashed. Go ahead and roll me 7 challenge dice. Hopefully you can get this.
It's fine. I'll spend
6.
a momentum to reroll the
1 momentum, re-rolling those zeros. Nice. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Minus 2 is 7. And that is 1. Yep, that completes the work track and is more than 5. So, you crush this. Indeed, it's a bit fuzzy. Definitely lower resolution than what you're used to on a Starfleet vessel, but whatever this is, it appears to be precipitated by some sort of subspace disturbance that resonates with the frequency of the active warp drive, and it causes a hum across the hall. Then after 30 seconds to a minute, there is a Tetrion on surge, and this thing just appears out of a tear in space.
I'll find it fascinating.
Yep. It has this. You find like at least 2 tentacles that are 3 kilometers long. So we're talking like 5 of your ship lengths. And just about as thick around. And the main body is probably scale 7 or scale 8 comparatively. And yeah, it slaps around the ship for a little bit, then it's shocked and it retreats back into the gash and subspace it just made. Would you like to ask any additional questions?
Where does it come from? Like, does it come from another dimension? Is it like a wormhole?
For your free science question, based on the Tetrion on energy and the subspace frequency, this thing seems to be submerged in subspace, and it just kind of breaches into normal space. So somehow this creature is warp capable, apparently. Or thing. It's acting organic, but it might not be. But point of origin, some realm of subspace.
All right. Here we go. Can I tell from the sensor logs where this occurred at?
Yeah, that has been tagged. I mentioned the system way earlier.
Okay.
Let me scroll up.
I don't think I would have any more questions, but I think Elle would ask if we could take a look at it. Whether it's end of shore leave, during shore leave, whatever.
This came from the Beta Provonus system, specifically the second planet. And it's easy to verify that that's about where this took, both from the meta tags and the sensor logs. Say, hey, that planet looks familiar.
So how far is that from DSC?
This is probably like a 7-day journey.
Okay.
Yeah, it was about halfway between a DSE and Starbase 27.
And we're about 3 days into shore leave?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'll forward the request to Maddox and Calders, expressing he would like to go take a look at this phenomenon.
Do.
That depends on that depends on how soon we get a new assignment.
unless there's any objections, and we could end our shore leave now, and we can get to that assignment.
Go for it. Yeah.
Ellerbog, we good to move to the end of the week?
I am.
All right. At the end of the week, you are all relaxed and all relaxed and taken in care of. Everyone and had a good time. Some was a little more adventurous than others. Some was a bit more noteworthy than others. But let's see. Shift click. We are now at here in the Tallgrass operational area. Nope, too far. You are called into a room in Commander Calder, and two other officers come to meet you, or are in the room with you, along with Admiral Nea. In fact, one of the officers look familiar.
Oh God, it's Daddy's boy.
Nope.
No, not that.
What?
It is someone who got it, who has the power of nepotism on his side.
It is not someone who has the power of nepotism.
There goes literally 20 quips.
Where's my Nea token? There she is. All right. And Calder's is in here as well, as it is command and staff. There's Admiral Nea, who you met before, and the unknown female is a female Trill lieutenant commander in the command and Red Stripe. And then this dude here is someone you might recognize from the academy. Michael Bradford. He was one class ahead of you at the academy, and he gave you shit during it. In fact, as you walk in, and he stands up and goes, "Wait, is that you? Graham Cracker?"
Graham Cracker.
And he reaches up and does the handshake and into a hug thing. Do you accept?
Okay. Like one of those. Okay.
You haven't seen this guy since the academy days. But yeah, it was kind of a tense, awkward relationship, and he kept calling you Graham Cracker and some more, and he would trip you and make you spill your pads, or he pulled a couple pranks on you.
Graham Cracker and s'mores.
Because he is that intelligent. He is also a captain rank.
Uh-oh.
What stuff did he do during the Divine War? Because I think I've done more than him.
He was initially a tactical officer on a ship, and then became a first officer of the Rampart, and just recently he became the captain of the USS Rampart.
I mean, I've only recently transferred from ops to command.
Yep.
So there's my defense.
And Svalinn. Well, I didn't know you two previously had a record, but I should have known this as earlier. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves around the table. The young troll woman introduced herself as Jenna Hole. Oh, and she is in command of the USS Ecliptic, which you may remember from a previous episode.
I remember the name of that.
Oh yeah, we
Yep.
saved them.
Yep, you saved them. Okay, let's cut to the chase with the recent diplomatic and strategic importance of Deep Space Arcania. Today, we have decided to increase our operational area. And we would like you three to work on securing the supply lines and the outlying areas as from Starbase 27 to Deep Space Arcania. And she pulls up the map, which is why you're on the map layer here. Starbase 27 is up here, and we wish to create a trade lane from Starbase 27 to Deep Space Arcania and secure that lane. We're nominally calling this the Silk Road. In addition to this,
Well, that's certainly original.
hey, I tried. And it's also a code name. In addition to this, you three will be responsible for the sectors highlighted in red here. Starbase 27 will be able to handle the head of the trail, and Tiger Squadron will be responsible for the end. You will be responsible for this long area in the middle up until this halfway point. In addition to this, yes, we have a lot of colonies and frontier worlds who have extended the reach out here, and frankly, we kind of lost track of them during the Dominion War. We would like you to especially go through the area and check in on them and show the flag and remind them that they are our Federation citizens and we are here to protect them. Commander Calder, you will be responsible mainly for the security of the Silk Road as well as the surrounding sectors. Commander Hall in the Ecliptic will be responsible for planetary surveys, is to find possible candidates for terraforming or colonization efforts. And Michael Bradford in the Rampart will be responsible for colonial outreach. Are there any questions?
Anything to expect minus potential remnants of the Alliance Syndicate?
Remnants of the Orion Syndicate, as well as just freeform armed piracy in the area. This area also shares a border with the Klingon Empire. We are nominally allies with them, but we do have some rival houses that might want to stir some trouble and choke supply lines to Deep Space Arcania. And there's the ever looming threat of the Gorn hegemony. They generally keep themselves, but they also generally stake their air claim on random bits of space and kick out anyone they deem within their space. At this point, Captain Bradford speaks up. So, in the case of greater security measures where all three ships should be necessary to tackle an issue, obviously, whose call would be that? Who would we be reporting to? Nea kind of rolls her eyes and goes, well, normally you'd be reporting to me every day, but in general, you'll be out there on your own. If you require your assistance from each other, or you can contact each other directly and arrange tactical arrangements as needed. And if you were to find something that would be more suited for or another vessel, I would presume that you would forward those mission briefings to each other. You are here together as equals, but with different mission parameters.
Okay, that seems reasonable. Well, we are all equally commanding officers, and the only person who would able to command us would be fleet captain or higher.
Okay, and I'm gonna show you these characters to you, as you'll be able to have access to their files. But in the meantime, that is our mission and parameters. As for an immediate thing, I'm Commander Calder. There is one colony in particular I want you to rush out and get in contact with. If it is nearby the Gorn border, and we are unsure if this is an encroachment and on their part, but we have not heard from this colony in the past 5 years.
Can we blame the Andromeda?
Yes.
Okay.
So, with that out of the way, I expect all of you to perform professionally and with due diligence to your duties. If there are no more questions, you are dismissed.
Acknowledge.
And he stands up and walks away. Everyone else stands up and salutes the Admiral as they leave. So, Graham Cracker, how have you been doing? Haven't seen you since the Academy days.
I became chief security of the Svalinn, but when our captain was promoted, I became the commanding officer.
Looks at your collar. Only a commander, though.
True, but I've only recently been transferred from ops to command.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were more of an operations guy. I'm kind of surprised to see you in the captain's chair. I didn't think you had what it took. But, it takes all sorts.
landed
Huh.
on them.
Hall all rolls right. Eyes. Michael. Oh, stop. We know. Oh, you have the Excelsior air class. You don't need to be measuring your dick with it. We're all here for different reasons, and we are all here for different specialties.
Me thinking internally without saying this out loud. Why is he hyping up an Excelsior? That's like the old ship.
It's a skill 6. No, skill 5.
But yeah, but it's all like
It's old.
yes.
It works.
I mean, my ship was made to fight against the Borg.
Class. Good class.
It's a classic. She's supposed to have transport drive.
But then found out it was not functional.
He hypes himself up a little more and goes, well, if you need anything, I guess I'll see you among the stars. See some more of you later. And with that, Bradford walks out the door. Commander Hall sighs and rubs her temples. And here I had the misfortune of working with him for the past month. I can't imagine going to the academy with him.
It's fine if you don't get sucked in by the Napoleon complex.
Yeah. At any rate, a thank you again and for pulling us out of the fire a month ago. Oh, we just barely got our hull plane back together. So seems like we're gonna be out and about doing more our planetary surveys. Find some new homes for people.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It should be an exciting work. I guess I'll see you out there. And she politely nods and leaves the room. And with that, I am on the wrong layer. And with that, we end tonight's episode.